let's play a little final destination game with Jimmy Garoppolo. Not his final destination, but just the final destination of this offseason since we've been talking about it so much. Let's go through all the possibilities and give a percentage chance that you think he'll end up there.
Well, first of all, it could be his final destination. We know that none of us may not be alive on Sunday, Grant. It's a possibility.
Kyle taught us that. It's true.
He did.
He did.
But it's interesting because I think if 3 weeks ago we had this exercise, we'd have one, maybe two teams.
Yeah.
Now we've got, 4 or 5 other teams other than San Francisco that we can throw out there. So I think the one that I thought, if you would ask me 2-3 weeks ago where his landing spot would be, I would have said the Browns. I'd have said book it, because at that point it sounded like Deshaun Watson was going to lose the whole season. And I think that Jimmy, under that circumstance, would make a lot of sense. So Browns are the first team. I'm going to give them still a 10% chance, not a big one, just because it sounds like 4 to 8 games anywhere in there for Watson. Maybe they feel like they could get Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it's a trade or, he gets cut, whatever, and he's better than the other options they have for a few games. But with that being said, I'm going to give them a 10% chance, not a big one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to give them a 5% chance. I think that's how likely I think it is that Deshaun Watson will be suspended for the entire season. If he's suspended for less, I don't think the Browns will trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm going to give it a 5% chance, Cleveland.
Okay. Now, a team that's emerged and then didn't emerge all of a sudden in the week or so that I was out was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hey, now, I don't know who Dan Sileo is, and I don't vouch for him, but give him credit. He was the first person to report that Jimmy Garoppolo started throwing 2 weeks ago, not Matt Barrows. Sileo said that first. So I'll know who he's talking to, and I don't know why he has to sweat so much and yell so loud, but he got that right.
You did a good job on his show. I was able to peep that while I was down. So that was pretty good. But yes, you're right. He is the first one to call that. And so it kind of got shut down, kind of in a weird way. But it makes a lot of sense, really, when you think about it, just from a standpoint that they do need a transition quarterback when Brady is gone. I mean, why not Jimmy Garoppolo? So with that being said, I'm going to give the Bucs a 20% chance to land Jimmy Garoppolo. What about you?
I'm going to give the Bucs a 0% chance, just because I think they would be down to sign him. I do, but I don't see why or how they would trade for him. I mean, you're going to trade for a backup quarterback so you can extend his contract? Like, why? Why are you giving the Niners assets? Yeah. I'm sure they'd be interested to sign him, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the league that think the Niners will cut him eventually, and they're kind of waiting. But I don't see Tampa trading for him. 0.
I'll take Kyle Trask
trading for him to be a
up.
backup. That's amazing.
Give me Kyle Trask straight up.
The idea is Cleveland's desperate. They need a starter. They make a trade. Tampa just likes the idea of him as a backup. Sign him next year. 0.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Would you take Kyle Trask straight up for Jimmy? I would.
Yeah. Why not? I think Kyle Trask is better than Nate Sudfeld. Yeah. Although there could be a bigger difference between Kyle Trask and Trey Lance. But okay.
For sure. That's very true. All right, Seahawks. This team is in division. They've picked up a lot of steam lately. Let me be clear, because I don't think really any of these teams are probably going to trade for Jimmy. But if he's going to get traded, I got to throw out percentages. I'm going to give the Seahawks 20% as well, just because I know it's in division. But I feel like that's one of those where Jimmy would buy that. Right? They want to do right by Jimmy. That's a big thing. Jimmy would buy that because he gets to play San Francisco twice. I think he would probably feel pretty good about that. But on the flip side, Shanahan's looking at it going, yeah, we get to play Jimmy twice. We're going to shut this down once and for all. Show this how
Fred,
this
you nervous?
20%.
Fred, Aziz, you nervous? Ball's coming to you. Dre, you ready?
0%. You're going to practice with the wide receivers this week. We need you on point.
0%. I think they would sign Jimmy Garoppolo, but sending the Niners an asset, they don't have the cap space. They have to extend them. I think they want to draft a quarterback next year. I just don't see it. 0%. And I think there's also partly the Niners white knuckling this out of nowhere. Yeah. A little nervous. I think week 2 home opener against Seattle. I think part of them just like I don't even want the 20% chance that could go bad. So I'm saying 0%.
All right. I think this is probably the last team. We'll throw the 49ers in there too, because, there's a big percentage there. Texans. Florio says that he thinks that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to end up with the Texans. That's been the team all along. Maybe. I'm gonna keep it consistent. I gave the Bucks 20%, Seahawks 20%, Texans 20% as well. What about
0%. This would be the dumbest move of all. I mean, I like Davis Mills. Davis Mills is way better than Drew Lock and Jacoby Brissett. Davis Mills is legitimately good, I think. Like, help him. Don't put him on the bench for a year. Let him play. And to me, that would be it's stupid because bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't get them any closer to the playoffs. 0%. I hope that they're not going to make I mean, I don't really care, but 0%. That leaves us with
absolutely.
The 49ers.
So then you're going to go 95%.
95% for the 49ers. Now, there's always a possibility that some quarterback gets hurt in training camp and things change and someone gets desperate or someone gets hurt in the regular season. The Niners have held on to him. I don't see a team trading for Jimmy to be their backup. But if a team wants him to be their starter, that's a different thing. And right now, that's only Cleveland. I mean, I guess it could be Seattle. Seattle.
Come on, he's better. We don't give Jimmy a lot of credit, but he's better than those guys. Come on, he's better than Locke and Geno Smith.
I mean, is he better enough? Like, is bringing in Jimmy gonna get Seattle to the playoffs, or are they just gonna be like 8 and 9? Because I'd rather they should just tank, be bad, get whatever quarterback next year is good, and it's like 4 or 5 of them. What's the point? I would. Yeah, okay. So you're better than Drew Lock. Just tank. I would advise him to tank.
I agree with you 100%. And I think the worst thing as a franchise is to be middle of the road. You want to either be really, really bad or really, really good. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So you don't want to be in the middle. Like just eking into the playoffs or just miss the playoffs, worst place to be. That leaves me with 30% 49ers. I mean, but reality is like, I don't know, man. We're going to play another game a little bit later with some of the other play. I mean, we can go into it now since we're kind of on the Jimmy topic if you want.
I want to say one last thing. The reason I'm so confident that Jimmy's going to be on this team week 1 is that I think John Lynch in particular is dug in. Maybe Kyle too. But they felt like this trade for Jimmy was a win. And trading him for a 3rd or a 4th or a 5th or cutting him makes it look like a loss. I don't think they want to take that L. And I feel like they don't think they have to. If they hold on to him and he's a backup, then you don't know. You're not necessarily taking an L. You're just being prudent and cautious. And I think that's probably what they're going to do. Also, they could just say like, well, he's not done rehabbing yet. We're committed to trading him. He's just building up his arm strength. He's got arm fatigue right now. His arm is tired. We're going to trade him when he's ready, and that could drag on and on and on and on and on. So until there's an injury, until there's a desperate team. Oh, all of a sudden, dude went down. Jimmy's ready. Did we say that Jimmy's ready? Jimmy's ready right now. That's what I don't know. That's what I'm banking on. But maybe it's just because I bet like a $50 bottle of wine with my dad on this, and sometimes I lose perspective when I have $50 worth of wine bet on something.
Do you find it interesting though that Parag is this penny pincher guy who tries to save the Yorks a lot of money, but when it comes to this situation where they have an out and they can save the Yorks a lot of money, that they're not doing that in a situation that they clearly should? Like, isn't that a little bizarre?
But it's like, I feel like it's a big optics thing, not just for John Lynch and Kyle, but for Jed too. It's like, was this $100 million spent in vain? And you could argue, no. I mean, he's not taken you, but you've done a lot of things with this guy. But for whatever reason, I think they feel like they open themselves up to major criticism if they traded a 2nd for him and trade him away for a 5th. I don't think they want to do it, and I don't think they will, but I could be wrong.
You don't? Okay, so at least just outside looking in, I feel like the optics are worse if he becomes your backup quarterback.
Agree.
At $25 million or whatever it is. I think the optics are way worse there because here's what they can say. If they cut Jimmy, it's twofold. One, first of all, we already won the trade. We went to a freaking Super Bowl. You're welcome with Jimmy Garoppolo. That wasn't worth a 2nd round pick. Sure was. Oh, and by the way, we saved the final 25 plus million this year. And we're doing right by Jimmy and letting him choose his next destination.
I hope they do this. Is a win. John, do what Jesse's suggesting. I fully endorse Jesse's suggestion here, but they're not going to. I think they're dug in. I could be wrong.
I hope you're.
But we'll find out soon enough.